What's going on, Cowboys? Today's another CNFT Tuesdays, where we like to go around Cardano and really any NFT project and check out what is going on in the markets, especially in the CNFT space. But I'm really interested in the general markets as well. And of course, you know that we need to bring our guests on. One guest is MIA right now, but so we'll find him. We'll find him soon enough. But of course, we'll bring on. He's not really a guest on this channel. He's really this is just his show, his channel, but we need to bring him on as well. Anyway, big ups to Curly Knox. What's going on? Big ups to the chat. All you guys, thanks for showing up and tuning in to CNFT Tuesday. But let me just get us started. His picks are astounding. 50,000 NFTs and counting. He made it to 5K on the grind every day. He's Philly's eagle on top of a mountain. The one, the only, the crypto warden. Ethan, welcome to the show.
Go Birds, baby. We're going to the Bowl. I'm super excited being a Philadelphia Eagles fan. I'm super blessed by God to be able to go back for the second time in 5 years. I appreciate you for having me on, Aaron. You guys know what I say every week. It's a beautiful day outside for another CNFT Tuesday. Let's go.
Good to have you. Our other guest, I think he's coming on soon, but we'll bring him on soon enough. But I want to talk to you a little bit about the crypto markets, CNFTs, all that kind of stuff. Starting with, of course, we're going to go to, well, I don't want to tip my hat to our guest here, but one thing that's popping off right now are these like royal chess piece clubs. Not even sure what these are, but I mean, I don't know. Do you play chess at all, or something you've seen?
I do know how to play chess. I'm actually a big fan of chess, but I've fallen off the past couple of years. I actually was taking a look at them yesterday. So if you go into the project, I was looking at the Grandmaster pieces, and they were around like 200, 300 ADA. And so if you go into properties,
okay,
and then because there's different tiers, I guess, and then there's like different families. So that's a little bit on the interesting side. And then I think it was in the chess class. If you go to Grandmasters, the floor is up to like 1100 ADA.
Jeez Louise. These look
for chess pieces.
These look pretty good, but I'm surprised they're new like gaming stuff coming out right now. I'm really surprised about that. But hey, I mean, I'm sure there's different rarities. I don't know anything about this, but it seems like you don't want a pawn. It seems like you want something like a king or something like that. What's going on, Jeremiah? What's going on, Neo? Rinrar? Oh, here we go. We got our guest in here now. We could probably talk more about this if he knows more about it, but I'm really interested in our next guest. Let me take this off right here. All right, of course, I got an intro for him as well. Oh, Curly Knox said, yeah, I heard about the project, but know nothing about the project. Yeah, that's what I feel like is, I'm not sure if this is like just me being on the outside of it, looking in, but there seems to be maybe just not as much excitement. But who knows? We'll see. I could tell better from our next guest here. This man is helping us learn blockchain theory. Works so hard but never gets weary. Staking interception, DeFi intersection. This man knows the way like his name was Siri. He's the one, the only Stephen Ward from VyFi. Welcome to the show.
I always love your rhymes, my man. Thank you so much for having me again.
Yeah, of course, no problem. So first of all, Stephen, it's you're no stranger to the channel. Stephen from VyFi. Guys, if you want to check their guests, the links out for the guests, they're down in the description below. We'll get to VyFi. But where in the world is Stephen San Diego right now? First, you were in Italy, Australia, the Philippines. Where in the world are you now?
I am in Melbourne, Australia right now. So I came back for Christmas, and I am going back for Paris Blockchain in March.
Okay, so Paris next time in March.
Paris will be the next time, yes.
Gotcha. And how long are you going to be there for?
Probably 1 week. I'm going to be in Paris. From there, I'm going to go to Amsterdam and then London and then back to my apartment in Venice.
Venice?
Yes, that's where I live.
Can I live your life? Can I just join you? Can I tag along? Like, is that possible?
Yeah, look, it's a very fortunate life. I mean, we are lucky that they just have conferences all over the world. But that being said, it is also a bit of a lonely life. You are by yourself a lot, and you do spend a lot of time not seeing things, and rather you're working, right? So it's not. It sounds like a holiday, but it's not a holiday. It's not like I go to Paris and then I just go like hang out and go see the sights and
Dang.
hopefully meet some pretty women. That's always an advantage.
That got real for me for a second, bro. You're like, it's a nice life, but it's lonely. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Sorry, just hitting you with
like,
real.
No, that's serious. Like, so when you're traveling to these conferences, you're basically you're a vendor at each one of these conferences, I'm assuming, right?
Sometimes we have a booth. Sometimes I just go there for the networking. Very often, it's most of the conferences. The best thing you get out of them is the people that you meet, right? So you don't have to have a booth to meet people. Some conferences are a lot more useful from a business standpoint because you meet other businesses. Some conferences are a lot more focused on the public. So you kind of need to pick your battle, right? You need to go into a conference with a strategy. Am I going there to meet other businesses, or am I going there to advertise to the public? What's my focus going to be, and how am I going to approach it?
Is it hard to meet other businesses and network at a conference?
Nah, that's super easy. That's where conferences are really fun, particularly in the after drinks. The biggest problem that conferences always do is they put the after party in the middle of the conference. Like, end of the first night, they'll have an after party, and then there'll be the second day. So the second day, everyone just rocks up, and they're looking like they've just been murdered. But in general, you need to treat conferences strategically, and you need to treat them like work, right? Like, you can't go to a conference, particularly the newcomers that have just started going to conferences. They're the ones that get really messy on like night one, and then after you've been to 3 or 4, you start to realize you can't just do that because you start to not be able to work.
Yeah. I was at the Bitcoin conference, and the type of people there were like very businessy people. I met some really high value, high net worth people at those conferences, and then I go to like some other conferences, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy different. Like, this is crazy. Like, okay, I'll give you an example. Like CNFT con, it's like everyone's high. I was like, wow, this is totally different here, different speed. And then I would go to like NFT, like NYC NFT or whatever, or like a consensus in West Palm. And so there are different types of, so I'm assuming you go to, what kind of conferences do you pick? Do you pick these Bitcoin conferences, NFT conferences? I mean, what kind of?
I was at all the conferences you mentioned then, except for the consensus, but we did have our team there. We generally pick our conferences based on the amount that ADA wants to be at that conference, right? Cardano. So, I mean, I was at blockchain Manila. That's when I was last on the show, right? I was at the blockchain Manila conference, and that conference had zero focus on Cardano. And when you go and talk at conferences or meet people at conferences that have got nothing to do with Cardano, you find that the first half of your conversation becomes selling Cardano, and then once you've gotten past that hurdle, then you can start talking about projects, right? But first you have to convince them that Cardano is a good idea in the first place. When you're going to conferences that have got a bit more of a Cardano focus, you find that the people there, you don't have to spend half your time selling Cardano. People just be like, oh, you're doing stuff on Cardano. So that becomes a much more useful conversation. So definitely I've learned that that this year we're focusing a lot more on the conferences that Cardano's focusing on, rather than trying to strike out some conferences which have got no representation from Cardano.
Okay, that's very interesting. Like, if you need representation of VyFi around here in the United States, let me know. I'd love to join you guys. I would freaking love to join you guys. But in any case, we're here to talk Cardano and CNFTs. But really quick, I want to get your opinion here, and maybe Ethan, you too, and even the chat. What's your opinion on this market? Is this a bear market rally? Is Cardano along for the ride? Will Bitcoin decouple? Will Cardano decouple from Bitcoin? What's going to happen? Because it seems like Bitcoin has been going up and Cardano has been relatively stable. I think it's at, I forget what it's at, 40 cents right now. I'm not too sure. I forgot. I got to go back.
38
cents.
Moment.
Yeah, and it hasn't made its as big a jumps as Bitcoin, at least in my opinion, but I could be totally wrong. Steve, and what are you thinking? What's happening with the markets right now?
Oh, that is such a large question. Let's start with macro. I always prefer starting with macro as a starting point so we can get an idea for the global region or the global position that we're in.
Okay.
We're currently seeing a rally across multiple markets, right? So we're seeing a rally across the Dow. We're seeing a rally across the across non-US dollar linked currencies, which a rally against non-US dollar linked currencies, that means the US dollar is going down. That is bullish for crypto because crypto is US dollar denominated. So if US dollar goes down, crypto becomes worth more US dollar, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing a broad resurgence on quite a few commodities, right? Now, what that's telling you is that at the moment, the markets are feeling confident. Now, what is creating this confidence? I was actually watching quite a bit about it today and reading a few articles, right? What we can see is that we're getting a market where the bulls are currently making lots of bets, I guess you'd say, that are very optimistic. They are betting, and the bond market is currently betting that interest rate rises are going to stop and reverse within 6 months. So they think that currently the bond market's betting that interest is going to be going backwards within 6 months.
Then they
Right.
have, though. The 10 years dropped, and so interest rates have dropped as well, right?
Absolutely, right? So the expectation
Mhm.
for the federal interest rate is that within 6 months we're going to start going down, right? Now, is that the reality of it? Like, it's really interesting when I'm looking at it from the Australian perspective. In Australia at the moment, we've got runaway inflation that they're not being able to get under control. They're predicting 4 interest rate rises here over the next 6 months, rather than it starting to go backwards within 6 months, right?
Wow. Okay.
So what's really driving this at the moment is the American environment, right? The American dollar's getting a bit weaker because your interest rates are going down. When interest rates go down, that means there's less incentive for people to hold that dollar because they earn lower returns just for holding cash, right? So the incentive for holding US dollar is going down. That's bringing down US dollar a little, which in turn is pushing up the value of cryptocurrencies because cryptocurrencies are valued relative to US dollar.
So
Right.
if I'm getting this right, they're dropping the interest rates, and when you drop interest rates, it gives you an incentive, or people an incentive, to stop spending to stop saving their money and rather spend their money on assets. And you're saying that it's bullish for crypto, which is a risk on asset. So that's why it's coming out, and a bunch of different commodities, but crypto is included. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly correct. Yep, that's exactly correct, right? So this environment is creating a positive field for bulls to come in, right? But what is belying this current market condition is global economic circumstances, right? So whilst interest rate expectations are starting to go backwards because inflation seems to be coming under control in America, we're actually getting this, as I just said with the Australian experience, there's a similar experience taking place in Europe, very similar experience taking place in Asia, where we still have runaway inflation that doesn't seem to be under control, right? So whilst the situation in America is looking more positive, and that's a circumstance that gets the markets excited, I don't personally believe that the global environment is able to sustain a bull market right now. That's my personal belief. I hope I'm wrong, right?
Okay.
So what I think we've got at the moment is a rally more so than a turn in the market.
Interesting.
What we have to see now is we have to keep our eyes down to have a look at how inflation develops over the next 3 months in countries outside of America. We need to look at how strongly the stock market continues performing, particularly now that we have earnings season, and earnings season is, it and a bit in stock markets. And if earnings season comes out positive, I think we can expect to see more rallies, even in crypto. And if we're able to actually see a sustained reduction in interest rates over the next 6 months, so that expectation doesn't start turning, we may be able to start to see this market shift towards a bull.
Okay.
We want to get Bitcoin pass and hold 30K before we can really say this is a bull again.
Okay, so you're giving me a couple indicators here. You're giving one, Bitcoin over and hold 30K. Two, the global markets start to well, you're saying the global markets aren't prepared to turn inflation, but if the U.S. market stays the course, despite that, it could bring everything back. And so, okay, and you gave me another indicator, man.
We've got U.S. inflation expectation. If we can actually meet that expectation that we've got at the moment over the next 6 months, we've got that's number one. Number two is exactly what you said: pass and hold 30K. That is a really important one. If we can hold that 30K, that shows that we're now in a recovered market. And the last one is the rest of the world. Is the rest of the world being buoyed by that reduction in America's inflation expectation?
So okay,
right.
So are you saying if the Fed can change this direction in America long enough, sustained enough, it will help the other markets raise up to it, and that's just because of the dollar standard around
that's because of the dollar standard, right? So essentially, if your interest rates are going down, it becomes less expensive to hold dollar-denominated debt, right? So that essentially means that the entire market has a easier access to debt that's denominated in the world's backing currency.
So Curly Knox brings up a good point. So if the Fed pivot, we can see a run-up. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. If the Fed pivot, we can see a run-up, right? But we need that inflation, we need that interest rate expectations to meet reality over the next 6 months before we'll see the Fed pivot, right?
Okay.
So they haven't turned hawkish yet. They're still rather dovish. Sorry, other way around. They haven't turned dovish yet. They're still rather hawkish.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think they're doing that to curve the expectations, right? They want to stay hawkish. They want to keep that type of language and diction up, right? So that people can just be like, oh, okay, maybe they won't, and to keep that interest rate coming, back down. Stop overheating the market. Stop having people spend unnecessarily, all that kind of stuff.
That's exactly it, right? So, yeah, it's in all, I would say that we're in a much better position than we were the last time we were talking. Let's just say that.
Yeah. And so what does that do for Cardano then? You said that Bitcoin holding 30K, what does that do for Cardano? And then we'll make it our way to NFTs. Does Cardano stay at 38 cents? Is it time to buy Cardano now? What should we do?
Can I share my screen?
Yeah,
Let me get a good chart up, then I'll share my screen. One moment. Yeah. So one of the big things that we have at the moment is we've got a re-engagement of very quick bull patterns within the cryptocurrency markets, right? So what we're seeing is essentially a resurgence of altcoins that are working in reciprocally to the actions in Bitcoin. So what I mean by that is Bitcoin goes up for a day and then settles, and then the next day, while Bitcoin is settling, altcoins are going up for the day. And then they settle for a day, and then Bitcoin starts moving up. Now, the reason for this step that takes place during bull markets, the alternation between Bitcoin and altcoins, is because after Bitcoin does a run-up and the respective value of all the altcoins against Bitcoin drop, right, then investors go, oh, Bitcoin's gotten really high. I'm going to sell some of my Bitcoins and start gambling on some altcoins, right? Because now I've got more value in my Bitcoin. Okay. So then you'll get people that come in, they start selling a little bit of their Bitcoin, picking up altcoins. And that's when you see that slip down on Bitcoin, but all the altcoin markets start pushing up, right? So we're starting to see this re-engagement of that speculation cycle that we generally see form during the beginning of bull markets. Now, if we take
interesting. So you're saying I could arbitrage this. So you're saying if I see, and you're not giving financial advice, of course, but what you're saying is that what you see is that Bitcoin runs up, hits some kind of top. People are selling, seeing like, oh, okay, Bitcoin, and then it's going to settle down, and they're selling to move into altcoins, and that's the run up, and they swing back and forth like that.
Absolutely, and that's how altcoins and bitcoins move in a bull market, right? That's not how they move in a bear market. So that is something that's got me very excited, is the re-engagement of that relationship. That relationship means a lot in the crypto markets.
So with that relationship happening right now, is that, you're saying that's an indicator for a bull? What do you think? Is this a rally or is this a turnaround?
Well, I don't want to say anything firmly on that. Can I share with you another indicator that makes me think that it could be a turnaround?
Yeah, of course.
There's also the re-engagement of what I like to call the weekend trade, right? And the weekend trade was my favorite trade for years. Basically, on Fridays, markets close, right? Stock markets close, currency markets close, everything's shut except for crypto.
Right.
Now, because traders are absolute and utter gambling degenerate scum, right? Even though you've spent the whole week working and trading all week and it's absolutely taken over your mind, you hit Saturday and you wake up in the morning and you go, my God, I haven't traded in 12 hours. Where can I gamble? And the only thing left to you is crypto, right? So on Friday, in Australia, it's Saturday mornings because that's Friday night America time. But on Friday night and into Saturday, you see Bitcoin start to pump. Sunday, it starts to calm down, and then you get the altcoins lifting up on the Sunday. And then on Monday, they both come down a little. So if you just think to what happened with our run up to nearly 40 cents, and then on Monday, we had that relax. Monday, Tuesday, we relaxed a bit. And now today, we've sort of started ranging, right? Okay. That was a perfect example of what I call the weekend trade, the crypto weekend trade, right? So this run up that we just saw, which took us from 33 cents up to 40 cents, began on the Friday when the markets closed, and then essentially ran us up through until yesterday when we engaged in a range. Now, this weekend trade is another bullish action because we're hitting the weekend, and instead of traders going, I hate my life, let's go drink a margarita, they're going, all right, I'm seeing opportunity, let's go to the crypto market so I can keep trading.
So you're not only having crypto traders come from Friday, but you're also people who are trading throughout the week in other markets getting their fix on trading and saying like, oh yeah, we're going to see if we can make some money and get some opportunities in the weekends, and then it'll start die out and then it'll range on its normal, intended schedule. But on the weekends in particular, that's when we see a little more volatility. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly it. Right?
Okay.
So that's another bullish signal for me that we've got the re-engagement of the weekend trade. We've got the re-engagement of the bullish altcoin Bitcoin pattern, right? Are we in a bull market? No. Right? These patterns are re-emerging because sentiment is starting to not be absolutely terrible anymore, right? Okay. And at the moment, we're starting to get excitement that are being buoyed by stock markets and other markets. What this to me is more showing right now is that the relationship or the correlation between the cryptocurrency markets and the classic financial markets are a lot more closer entwined than we as crypto traders want to believe they are. Right? We like to say, oh, crypto is an inflation hedge, crypto is a this, crypto is a that. What is happening right now is we're following the S&P 500.
Yeah.
Right? The S&P 500 is pushing up. So because the S&P 500 is pushing up, crypto is pushing up with it. And as crypto is pushing up with it, we start to see the re-engagement of these bull patterns that we're used to seeing in an upwards moving market. But it's not happening because of crypto, it's happening because of the S&P.
Interesting. Yeah, interesting. So
sorry, you got me talking about markets. I can go forever.
No, yeah, please. No, well, I'm curious about it. Well, so yeah, we have a couple questions from chat, but I do want to close off this conversation. I think that it's important that we consider the greater markets. I think it's important that we consider that, hey, NFTs are still so small in the bigger scheme of things, and that it is controlled. A lot of the prices are still controlled by the price of ADA. If ADA comes crashing down, every NFT is going to come crashing down as far as activity, engagement, and price. Obviously, staking rewards, all that stuff is going to come crashing down. So I always think it's important that we keep that in mind. Now, we got some questions. Let me adjust the chat really quick. Let's see here. J Hub, you missed a lot of the market talk. Is it we were talking about like markets and the cycles and different more indicators than anything, and Steven's sentiments on that. Let's see. And then no, I did not get the HM apartment. I was debating on whether or not I should buy it then or whether or not this market's going to crash. I do know that I want to have them back on and I want to give it away then because they're matching my giveaway. So I can't do it without their match. Otherwise it's just for one. You know what I'm saying? So like the whole reason why I'm doing it, I'm buying her monster's apartment. I promised on last stream, but they also promised to match it. So I need them to match it. Otherwise you guys miss out on one. And macro is important. Let's see. Macro is important. However, crypto is mad. It doesn't always follow the rules. Yeah, that's obviously true too. So like Elon Musk can tweet something and then Dogecoin can just hit a spike for whatever reason. Like, hey, we're going to have Dogecoin on Twitter and then forget about it. Anyone who owns Doge is going to just 2x their money right there. So I thought that was funny too.
I just want to add to that as well. Don't just think that about crypto. That's every market that's like that. You know, every market is based much more on emotions than it's based on fact. And that's why traders can make money, right? If it was only based on fact, those with the best facts would always win, right? But in crypto, you can find edges because the facts don't always matter. Yeah,
I totally agree with that. It's just, I merely state the point that like crypto is more touchy. I mean, far more touchy. If Elon can just make a tweet and it's gone. Or Binance could literally make one tweet and destroy a whole market. So
FTT.
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? Like it is so crazy. It is just absolutely crazy, especially when everyone's so over leveraged sometimes. And I don't know. I just wish people would be more safe. But anyway, I want to know about trading here. Trading can be very difficult sometimes. So I'm always looking for something that'll help me. Maybe something like a Neuralink. I don't know. I'm just throwing words out there. Steven, what's up with VyFi? Maybe give me a quick synopsis on what that is, the projects that you have, and then maybe some quick updates on what you got going on with VyFi.
We are a DEX auto harvester that's coming to Cardano. We're actually really excited. We should be engaged. We should be launching the testnet this month. We're officially in February today. So that's for our DEX and our bar. We're super excited about that. God, it's been a lot of work. But we finally got there. Now, we've also got a really exciting new system for community staking. So that means we're essentially launching NFT vaults and token vaults for other projects. Yes, we do need beta testers. If you come into our group, we're going to be advertising it to the high heavens. If you just follow us on socials, you'll see it all there.
There we go.
Oh, am I back? Yeah.
You're good.
And after we've released that testnet, I've actually in the last month I've started working on our auto harvester and the mathematics for our auto harvester with my dad to start on the bots that we've got to build for that. So that's really exciting. We're essentially starting to put together the neural net for Cardano with Cardano data.
Oh, that's awesome.
God, there's so much going on. I haven't given any accurate description of anything. Basically, we're coming into testnet and we've launched community staking so other projects are able to stake their tokens and NFTs on our platform.
Oh, that's awesome. And that's a big thing. Like every time I see one of these projects, like, you know, one of these like art projects, community projects, they're all pulling up into staking right now. It's something that you've had for a very long time. So what does that mean? I saw that you got a picture of cornucopias on your Twitter page and stuff. So could you tell me a little bit about that, how that's going to work, or any other project can stake?
I don't want to share the cornucopias just yet because a lot of what we're doing together is still not public.
Okay.
So I don't want to upset anybody.
You haven't posted on your thing though.
Yeah, that we do, but we still got a lot more coming.
Okay.
There's more to come with that. There's more to come. So if we go to our website, here we are. I've shared my screen. So the one that we most recently launched was IDO Pass. And you can stake the IDO Pass NFTs to earn their token, IDP. and I'm sure you guys have spoken about IDO Pass on this. I think we talked
We
about
have.
IDO Pass last time I was on here, actually.
Cal Crypto loves this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
So you can earn IDP, which is their token now, by staking their NFTs on our site. We've got my favorite page in terms of how the page looks is Mini Magics. Mini Magics did the art for the whole page. If it'll load, there it is. So this is the Mini Magics page, and you can bring their NFTs and you can stake their NFTs to earn Trink, which is going to be a utility token that allows you to buy items for their NFTs. So in other words, like you can buy, I believe it's different potions, or you can buy relics. That's it. And they're going to have a shop for that that's launching. In the case of someone like NMaker, we've got a pool which allows you to stake NMaker token to earn NMaker token. So that just gives you the capacity to stake a token to earn a token. And we've got a few of these things coming out soon with other projects, with a lot of projects coming out soon. So a Belay coin is also currently there, so you can do a Belay coins token or their NFTs. We've got Robo. Of course, we've got the VyFi. We've got Kirkstone.
You've changed up the UX.
Yes, we did do a little bit of a UX overhaul. I think it was about time. You got to change up occasionally.
Of course.
We've also made these project pages sort of individualized to each project. So they've each got their own banner. They've each got here. They've got their symbol. They've got their token price, and they've got linked to their socials. Right. So you can see all of that directly from the actual projects page, and then you can get to all of that. And that also means that the projects are able to take this page and put it on their site and link their community directly to it. So
Oh, you right?
Yep.
There
just
you are.
give me.
Oh, there he is.
Huh?
We got you
What
back.
am I here? Oh, did I disappear? I'm just saying
Yeah.
I've lost our conversation where we're talking. It's all the way over here. There we
That's
go,
a
got it.
lot of tabs, Steve.
It's bane of my life.
That's why you're rugging, dude. That's why you're rugging. It's a lot of tabs right there, bro. your computer is like too many tabs. We got to knock out some of these tabs, bro. So that's funny. Yeah. So I'm up here in app.vyfi.io here, and so you're saying that I could take any one of these projects here and just start staking right now.
Yep,
Like
absolutely.
IDO pass or whatever. I forget what I even have. Like, do I have one of these? I don't even know.
Wait, are you logged in with your wallet? Let's have a look.
Yeah. I figure it out. Let's see. My wallet.
No, if you just click on it, if you click on the go to filter by projects and select IDO pass.
Okay. Oh yeah.
No,
Here.
at the top, filter by projects, select IDO pass. Boom, and now if you click on any one, it'll actually show you. It'll show you if you have that one in your wallet. So if you've got the IDP Pass Founders, see, so you don't have that one. Go to.
I swear I got one.
Yep, you'll have. If you got one, you've got one of them.
Maybe I don't.
And then that one. Yep,
Oh,
there
there
they
you
are.
Hey.
So click them both and then stake it.
Oh, this is great. Now, is this custodial or not?
So, yeah, we're calling it now custodial to the smart contract. So this is, you don't hold it in your wallet, it goes into the smart contracts wallet. But the rewards are also in the smart contract, and it's all done on chain, and it's all done outside of the custody of VyFi. We don't.
Oh yeah, Steve, you got to knock out some of those tabs, bro.
Just a
Yeah.
second. I'll get them knocked.
I'm
Closes 500 in
partially
2
joking.
seconds.
I'm not too sure if it's gonna stop you or not. That's funny.
Am I back yet?
No, you're back. You're back.
Yep.
You're back.
I just knocked out a bunch of tabs.
Ethan, you gonna stake some stuff on VyFi?
Yeah, I gotta get some of these projects first though. I mean, I'm still working on growing, but I mean, it's always great to look at VyFi and just kind of see how they're growing, especially since we've had Steven on. What is this, like the third or fourth time now? So it's always great to see how he's growing, especially with all the different developments.
Yeah, well, every time he comes back on, there's more development, even and now he's on
Exactly,
testnet. But my thing is that I think it was 2 streams ago or something like that. I was I forget whose staking mechanism, but I had like a ton of freaking NFTs from different projects, and they're like, "Aaron, you're not staking your mallards." And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess I'm not."
Oh,
staking.
it was the mutants.
I was like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I need to check on them again. I'll forget them. I'll forget them on chain. I'll think they'll just like
Yeah, you're
lost.
getting all them ruined.
Yeah,
And that is actually something I just want to quickly bring up because Mutants had a little hack the other day.
They did.
Which was upsetting. You know, it was bad. Yeah, it's not a good thing for the whole Cardano staking community. What happened with their contracts? They have a problem. They had a problem, which is a known issue in Cardano called a franking address. Now, I'm not going to go into the details of it. The one thing that surprised me was that this was an address that was actually discussed, an issue that was addressed and discussed by IOG in May of last year, and they released a fix for it in May of last year. So it was really disappointing to see that their team hadn't taken into account this fix for a known issue.
Did I lose my stuff?
No, you didn't lose anything. It was so, and this is the thing that I want to discuss. This is what I want to discuss, right? The attack itself was on the rewards. It wasn't on the NFTs. The NFTs are held in a smart contract. No one can touch those, right? But the rewards were held centrally, right? And they were just held in a wallet and being managed by a bot, right? So someone was able to exploit the bot and essentially drain the rewards from the rewards pool. One big thing that I want to reiterate, which is important here, is that our rewards are all calculated on chain, right? So that means from the moment of deposit, we're using the the blockchain ID, and we're counting blockchain IDs to determine that reward. Which means unless a user is able to do a transaction that changes the actual order of the blockchain, which I can promise you they can't actually do any kind of hack like that on our system. Also, we don't have the issue with franking address.
You're saying that in the Mutants, there's a bot that managed things and protected things, and then with VyFi, it's on chain. And for them to hack VyFi, they would have to hack the blockchain. Versus if you're going to hack Mutants, you exploit the weakness, and the weakest part of that chain is actually not on chain; it's the bot. Is that what you're saying?
It's the centralized bot, exactly. Right. So our system is entirely decentralized. Their system was a centralized rewards mechanism. Right. I don't want to say anything bad against Mutants, by the way.
But that's just what happened,
in the sense,
though,
they're
right?
a good team. Yeah, that's just what happened, right? They're a good team. They've done a lot of good work. This is in no way an attack on Mutants. But that's just what happened, right? And that's not an issue that we're worried about at VyFi. And we just had a lot of people approach us being like, oh, but you're custodial as well. And one thing that I do want to note is that the problems that Mutant had nothing to do with custodial or non-custodial. The problem that they had to do with the centralized rewards mechanism. And the thing that's most interesting about that is that if you have custodial staking on Cardano, you have to have a centralized rewards mechanism, right? You can only do custodial staking with centralized rewards because you hold it in your wallet and then they use a database to calculate the rewards and send them out from a wallet, right? So the hack that these guys had is a hack that can exist in custodial staking. Sorry, in non-custodial staking as well, right? Anyone with a centralized rewards mechanism is, if you don't deal with franking address, right, this can happen.
What's a franking address?
It's a way in which UTXOs are counted.
Okay.
Let's not go into blockchain logic.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm glad that you know it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know it, but I'm glad you know. Okay. It was just a test. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
And actually, yes, I should mention that. Resin. Thank you. Mutants did buy back everything that was taken from the market. Right? They did the correct thing. They handled it very well. As I said, this isn't an attack against Mutants whatsoever. I just, for a moment, want to defend custodial staking because this is an issue that could have happened in a non-custodial system as well, as long as you have a centralized bot, right? Yeah, they were very professional. But this is an issue that can exist in a non-custodial system with a centralized payment bot, right? This isn't an issue that can take place the way that their issue took place. I'm not saying issues don't exist. Of course they do. Other things may happen, but this issue can't exist in a system that has got decentralized rewards on Cardano.
Okay.
Which is what our system has.
Yeah, awesome. And so one thing I'm looking forward to as well is not just the security, but also the Nelnet.
Neural net, yeah.
Or neural net? What's that?
Yeah, that's the one. Neural net, yeah. Like
neural net. What's neural net? I don't even know that. So neural net, that's the one that does it for me, right? That does
Yes.
yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. When can I get access to that?
It's actually this is gonna be an interesting one. That's gonna be built over stages, right? The full neural net implementation, I'm hoping to be the beginning to mid next year, would be my expectation. But as for earlier form of auto harvesters, we're expecting to get them probably later this year. And what that means is that it would be an auto harvester where the strategy doesn't adjust. It's just a set strategy that you can put your money into, right? And then from there, we have to work out and research how do we connect that system to a neural net so that it's able to do its job properly. We've actually, as I said, I've already started working with my dad on this specifically for Cardano, with Cardano data now. My dad is the AI engineer, and he and myself have been having a lot of fun. I like, what details do we want to go into? We are currently, we recently were just able to get a generalized function to be able to draw down the covariance between, the covariance of the impermanent loss between all liquidity pairs on Cardano, which was fantastic. So now that we've got a really standardized form for that covariance, we're able to start putting it into risk ratios, which is great. Yeah, right? The bit that I'm most excited for is that my dad is actually going to be writing up 2 or 3 research papers for us that we're going to be launching, that we're going to be releasing over the next 3 months. And they're going to be research papers that are going to be discussing liquidity trading from a statistical perspective. It's going to be discussing the design of a liquidity trading bot, and then it's going to be discussing the interaction or the optimization of a liquidity trading bot based on blockchain trading, because you're actually working on a blockchain. So you have to optimize it for function on the blockchain. So these are all the papers that we'll have coming out, and I'm super excited.
I am excited that you know exactly what you're talking about. That's what I'm excited for. I'm gonna say hangman, and with one of those words you just said, statistical freaking liquidity pair trade. I'm just being real. I'm not here. Let me be real for a second. All right, with ChatGPT, I'm sure you've heard of it. I'm sure everyone is already knowing about it. It's taking the world by storm. ChatGPT, AI. I was never really interested in AI before. Okay, really before. I mean, like, it was like, oh, okay, like a little robots. It seemed so far in the past. Then I saw ChatGPT. We started using it. I started using it in my everyday life. I use it every day, every single day. Emails, sales copy, doesn't matter. I use it. Since then. Now I'm excited about AI, and now I'm like, oh, if AI can just do this and immediately make me like a writing master. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, Steven was developing that AI that is learning how to do the trades exactly like ChatGPT, and it gets better and better every single time. Oh no, this is going to be crazy. So maybe that's my real enthusiasm about this thing, is that I was kind of asleep on the power of AI in my life. And I knew like it could be better, but I always thought, the bravado in me or the pride in me was like, oh, I'm better than the AI. You know what I mean? Like, stupid. But then I tried GPT, and I realized how inefficient and wrong I am. And then now I'm like, okay, how does this look anywhere else? And obviously, a neural net is the thing that I'm looking for in crypto. So I really am looking forward to seeing that fully fleshed out. That would be amazing. It would be like earth-shaking. So.
Yep, so am I. And that's going to be, and again, Rome wasn't built in a day. We got our DEX and bar coming onto testnet this month. And then essentially once they go onto mainnet, we're going to have one team building out the AI, and we're going to have another team basically doing, keeping up and doing updates on the DEX. So,
yeah. What do you think, Ethan? What do you think about any thoughts towards AI and how Steven's doing? You know what the neural net is, right? It's like it's an auto. When he says auto harvester, it really means like the AI is picking like the best things to farm, to send like staking or whatever, and then get the best rewards from each little pool, and it does it automatically for you. I mean, that's simple lizard brain terms. That's what that does.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's very interesting to think about just on an even more grander scale, especially just with like technological advancements overall. Because I mean, us as humans, we're never really like, we're not ones to take no for an answer. We're always just trying to develop something that's better and new. And we also we tend to follow the theory of trying to work smarter and not harder. So we're just trying to invent new ways to get everything done faster, everything done quicker. So that's really the main goal, and I'm just excited to see where AI goes, because I mean, it's still developing.
Especially because I'm so dumb. You know what I mean? Like, so I need extra help here. Steven, we're running up our time here. I really want to. There's a ton I would talk to you about. I'd talk to you about AI. I just want
to quickly answer Curly Knox. Am I using any open AI code? No, I don't believe we're using any open AI code. My dad has built his own repositories over 20 years of being an AI consultant. And he would probably be using his repositories, their code bases that they have proprietary to themselves.
Jeez Louise, is there a benefit to using open versus private?
I mean, my dad built all his code bases, built a large part of his code base through many, many years of consultancy. So it just works exactly how he likes it to work.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's really what you're used to. He's just been an AI engineer for many, many years and has been doing, and has kind of, I guess after you do a thing for a long time, you build your own quirks, right?
Well, yeah, absolutely. That makes a lot of sense to me. Okay, so look, I have, we're running up our time here. I'm going to put you on the spot, but you don't have to if you don't want. I could create a giveaway. But did you have anything to maybe something small to give away? We could draw a picture and play some games.
I always like drawing a picture. Let me find a. It might not be one of our NFTs, but I've almost certainly got an NFT from someone that I can give to somewhere.
To be able to stake on VyFi?
Do I have an NFT that can be stakeable on VyFi? Let's have a look.
If not, I got some NFTs we could give away. We'll do some giveaways. We have to. This CNFT Tuesday, baby. We got to give away some NFTs.
True that.
Okay. I'm going to do a. Oh my god, I've got so many NFTs.
There's a lot of NFTs.
I don't think I have any though that can be staked on VyFi. I think I've got them all staking on VyFi.
Oh, well, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Curly said I got to beat the 35 gang. I really do, but they got those Mallard invitation orders. They got a lot. They got really ahead of me there. So it's a long year. We're just getting started here. But I'll give away some NFTs. I'm not sure what I'll give away. I'll figure something out here. But Steven, do you? You got something? Are you worried or not?
Yeah. No. I will have something. I'm just trying to find. Okay. I'm just trying to find it. I've got like 3,000 NFTs to look through. So give me 1 minute.
Yeah, I got a ton too. I got a ton. All right. Oh, I shouldn't have staked those IDPs, the IDO pass.
The IDO pass. Yeah.
I shouldn't have staked that.
That would have been perfect.
Why would silly? Okay, I'm sure I'll find something else here. We're gonna play 2 games of Pictionary. Have you played Pictionary with us?
I believe I have. Well, I played Hangman. I don't think.
Yeah, you played Hangman. So at the beginning of the year, I started a new game, which is Pictionary. Let me see if I could find my list here. And let's play 4 games, and whoever has the most wins, because these go so fast, we'll win it. We'll win the NFT. And if one of you 2 guys win it, then you guys can pick someone from the chat who's been active or who you even like. You could even be nepotism. It doesn't matter to me. You guys won, so you guys can pick whoever gets it. Okay. So let's start playing. Here's the first one. Okay. The category is phobias. Okay, phobias. Here we go.
Aliens. Oh, virus. Hypochondriac.
Death. Sickness.
Coronavirus.
Close.
I was gonna say coronavirus.
So that would germaphobe.
Germ wins. I'll give you germ.
Yeah.
Germ. It's germ. So good job. So okay, we got that's 1. We got 3 more.
Nailed it.
This next category will be Activities. Okay. Activities. Ready and go.
Dress.
Dressing up. Ballerina.
Dancing.
Oh, dancing.
Not dance. It's a type of dance.
Tap dance.
Doing
Tap
the
dance.
stanky leg.
No.
The foxtrot.
No.
Get tripping over.
Curly
a
knocks,
rope.
you're close. Curly knocks, you're close. I'm gonna try
Breaking
to.
a leg. I like the breaking a leg.
Oh, Curly knocks, you're close. Curly knocks is close.
Is that a piano? Is that what that's supposed to be?
No.
Irish dancing.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it here, guys. It's jig. It's jig.
Oh, the Irish jig.
It's jig. Oh, you guys are so close. That's an accordion. I don't know if they play, if that's how you dance to. I don't know. I don't know if it's you do it to an accordion, but that's what that is. So Curly
It's
knocks,
also
you're
a
very
poorly
close.
drawn accordion. But we'll
How am I
let it
supposed to draw
slide.
it? Yeah.
We'll let it
You said
slide.
Irish
No.
jig? I didn't even see it. Hold on, let me see crawfish.
Uh,
Crawfish is not one to lie, so I will.
Oh yeah,
I will
he
take
said
you
it.
at your
He
word.
said it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, fish. Good job. So crawfish, you got one. Steven, you got one too. All right, so here's the next one. The next one is wrestlers. That's probably too good of an easy of a hint. This is
Oh, God, I have
Wrestlers.
no idea.
It's John Cena. You can't see him.
no, it's not John Cena.
Santa Claus.
That's what I was gonna say, Steven. I was gonna say Santa Claus.
Resin gets it. Racho Macho. It's macho. It's macho is the name is the word.
Oh, the Macho
So
Man.
Resin. Good
well
job. So
played.
Resin, Steven, and crawfish.
No one.
You got it. We got one more, and then we'll wrap this up here. Let's see the last one. Okay, no hint for this. No category. Here we go. Okay, this is gonna be hard. Whoa.
I thought you were getting ready to draw Star Wars here with a lightsaber.
No, that not having.
What was the hint again?
No hints.
He
this
didn't give
time.
one on this one, yeah.
Some dude.
Yes.
Elf.
Aaron on the street.
Robin Hood.
Scarecrow, no.
Farmer.
Tau
Ooh.
Crypto.
No.
Is that
Alcoholic.
wine?
No. I might have to give you guys a hint.
A drunk?
No.
An old drunk.
Okay. This is we're gonna say it's another word for rich person. That's such a good hint.
Posh.
No.
Another word for rich person.
Another word for rich person. This is a bag of money.
A
Billionaire.
bag of money, nice. Mr. Monopoly.
Oh, minted.
No.
Hmm.
Pimp, no. Okay. Pimp, no. I don't know how to draw this. This is impossible. Okay, we're gonna call it right here, guys. The winners are crawfish and who's the other one?
Me.
Oh yeah, you were one.
Resin.
And resin, that's right. Crawfish and resin, but Steve was it. It's aristocrat. It's aristocrat. This is-
Oh, aristocrat.
Yeah. See, like it's like wine and red, and they got a little ponytail right here.
Oh, I thought that was
think
a
we just-
poorly drawn baseball cap.
Yeah, so did I. We just needed like a monocle.
Yeah, oh, monocle would
Yeah,
be
exactly,
good.
a monocle,
would
yeah.
be good. I couldn't. It's difficult. It's difficult. Aristocrats are. So.
It is a tough one. It is a tough one.
Okay, so Resin, you get one. Go ahead and contact Steven for your winnings. He's me the BIM.
Just post your thing. I will get. I'm just gonna send you some white NFT, VyFi white NFT. I've been looking through them all, and there's nothing.
There you go. Okay, and then yeah, I'll actually. I think I got one too. I'll send Crawfish. Crawfish, I owe you one now too. So these are 2 winners. Guys, thank you guys so much for checking out CNFT Tuesdays. All the links in the description down below for Steven, VyFi, and for Crypto Warden, Ethan. Thank you guys so much. Steven, do you have any last thoughts? Do you have anything last exciting for VyFi that you want to just be excited? Testnet, so be sure to join their Discord.
Testnet. I just want to say that I'm really excited for Jed. I did try to mint on Jed last night, but it was 100 ADA fee, and I was like, 100 ADA fee. So I didn't do it.
Gotcha.
I went to Indigo and I minted some more IUSD for 4 ADA.
That's funny. Wow,
but it is
you
good to-
got turned away from 100, huh?
Jane.
That was too
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bit much.
Yeah, I hear you.
But yeah, look, in general, I just want to say thanks for having me on, and come and chat markets anytime, guys. I love markets, so.
I would actually love to do that. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for joining CNFT Tuesday.